The reality with debt, and so I'll focus in on what people would say is consumer debt. So think like credit cards or a car note, car loan, things like that. First off, if you have high interest debt, so think like double-digit interest, you need to focus on a strategy to eliminate that, would be the first thing that I would say to pretty much anyone that's listening. And there's some different ways that you could do it. So let's say if you're in a pretty good like credit score or credit report standpoint, you could potentially get a 0% promotional rate where you could consolidate having all of your high interest credit cards be moved over to a card that it's a 0% promotional period for, let's say, 15 months or 24 months, which allows you to pay it down faster because you're not fighting uphill against 20% or 25, 30% interest rates. But then there's a framework of thinking like a debt snowball, which you're taking the smallest debt and paying as much money as you can to that as possible and doing minimum payments for the rest. And then once you pay that off, go to the next one and the next one until you pay it all the way off. Debt avalanche would be saying I'm taking the highest interest rate and focusing that way and then rolling it from there. But I think the biggest thing as far as like a benefit emotionally and financially even just of having no debt is there's clarity of mind. I know I don't owe anybody anything. So, and
oh, we're gonna talk about this.
Right. Like for real. And so the thing is, I know I could always leverage against assets that I have if I want to tap into that. So for me, I actually did choose to pay my home off. I didn't have to, had a real estate deal go extremely well and just decided to do it. But I could do something called a home equity line of credit if I wanted to get money based off of the home equity that I have. I could get a loan against the stock market assets that I have, and so on and so forth. So, but for me, the greatest deal I had, which actually was a private equity deal, I don't know if I want to say the return on this thing, though. But I might share it. So I had a situation where it was after I paid off the house that I ended up in a private equity deal, which I'm gonna share this with y'all, but this is just us, okay? Y'all cool with that, right? Like we just cousins, you know what I mean? I come from a big family, so we like second, third cousins. But I did have an investment, which this will kind of hit sexy, but it is what it is, that went up 200 times what my initial investment amount is. And so, yeah, I know that is sexy, but the confidence and wherewithal that I had and the emotional stability to take that kind of a swing as far as the risk to reward was on the fact that I had a 7-figure portfolio already outside of the equity in my home in the stock market, so liquid funds. Then I had a real estate portfolio as well. And with paying off the home, I'm like, hey, if I lose all of this money, that grass still a little bit greener because it's paid off. The birds, they chirp a little bit louder to wake me up, you know what I mean? I don't need Folgers in my cup, you know what I mean?
All right, let's talk about the other side of debt. I told you I play the tax man hard, right?
Right.
Listen, and me and Cedric, we talk about this all the time because Cedric also doesn't like carrying tons of debt.
I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle, right? Right? Listen, I think that certainly there's good debt and there's bad debt, right? Right? Good debt and bad debt. Consumer debt is bad debt, right? You don't want to be having a whole bunch of credit cards. You don't want to be going out running your Macy's card up. You don't want to be going out buying cars or whatever the case may be. You know, depreciable assets, right? You know, you don't want to be doing that, right? That's bad debt. Good debt, however, is a mortgage loan, right? Here's the reason. First of all, mortgage interest is deductible, right, from a tax perspective, right? Second of all, if I got $100,000, right, and and the property's going to cost me $100,000, why in the world would I want to take my entire wad of $100,000 and go buy that asset out, right? Go pay $100,000 and pay it off scot-free. The question is why, right? Why not use debt, right, where you're going to get the benefits from a tax perspective, right? And then you're going to save, then you're going to have another $80,000 for you to go out and make another, right, 20% down of $100,000, right, $20,000, right? And then you're going to have another $80,000 that you can go out and potentially buy you another asset. So I look at debt a little bit differently. I'm not saying leverage, right? Don't get yourself in, totally leveraged out. But at the end of the day, there are benefits to carrying debt because you don't have to use your cash, right? You don't have to use your cash to go out and purchase assets. And we've been all talking about purchasing cash flowing assets. We love cash flowing assets. We love cash flowing assets, right? But I don't believe in taking all my money and going out and purchasing it because then I don't have any dry powder, right? I don't have any dry powder left to go out and look at the next opportunity that may come my way. So that's kind of how I look at it. And again, the tax benefits. I'm not giving Uncle Sam anything more than what I have to give him. I believe in paying taxes, right? Right? But at the end of the day, I'm utilizing that as a tax play as well and as an advantage and an opportunity for me to go and do more and to utilize my cash a little bit better in order to spread my asset gathering